All right, what's going on, guys? Welcome. This is me and Ben's third take now, but we're going to get this first episode dropped. We're super excited about it. This is the Burke Fantasy Football Podcast. Every week, we're going to drop an episode. Starting next week, we'll be bringing on guests per week to talk about the buzz around the league, injuries, good, bad, win-loss, playoff outcomes. It'll be super fun, and we're going to drop it every week. We hope you guys are excited.
Yeah, guys. So, Apple sucks, and they don't save your videos, apparently.
So what we're doing today is we're going over the rankings that we're giving out by the commissioners, and what we have here is myself, who's the commissioner on the board of commissioners, and then we have Ben from BFFLPA, Burke Fantasy Football League Players Association, so we have representation for both sides. Today we're going from bottom to top of rankings for each division and breaking down teams, and if you don't like it, prove us wrong. We want to be proven wrong. We want to see some guys who we don't think make the playoffs. They're going to make it.
Yeah.
Go over some teams we like. So we're starting from the bottom here in the West Division, and the person that was voted last in this division, I know he's not going to like it, is Reed. I remember at the draft he was not rocking with his ranking. So the first team we're going to break down is Reed. Ben, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, there's things I like about this team for sure. Amon-Ra and Nico and CJ Stroud really stand out. I just think after those three guys, it's like we start to take a little bit of a hit. We start to fall off significantly. We got Devon Achane, David Montgomery. So you got two RB2s in your first slot. And then Adam Thielen at flex. It just, yeah. There was better. That's rough.
And I think the reason I think he went with Thielen is he did have Thielen last year, who had actually a decent year last year. But this year, with the addition of Deontay Johnson, the drafting of Xavier Legette, they have too many weapons up there now. I wouldn't call them weapons in Carolina, but enough options.
Yeah, they have people to throw the ball to that aren't 45-year-old Adam Thielen. The bench also not deep at all. So yeah.
Actually, looking at this team, I don't know if this is quite the last place team. The next team we're going to go over, he might be battling for it.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra, Nico, Stroud, and even Evan Ingram offer a solid for me. I think
I don't even know. I think maybe last is harsh compared to some of the other teams.
Yeah.
A.D. Mitchell and Gabe Davis, if he can magically just play them at flex on the 5 out of the 17 weeks that they pop off. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely.
We could see him win a lot of games and not even necessarily be in the loser's bracket, but
yeah, we actually saw that 5-0 start, which we talked about in the interviews. We actually saw a 5-0 start for Reed last year.
Yeah.
He fell off really hard, so I think Reed, he had a shot in the playoffs there, really.
Oh, for sure.
Chance here with this team. I just, like you said, Achane and Montgomery are both in split backfields, no high volume guys there, so I hate this team, but I definitely didn't have it listed as a playoff team when I did the rankings.
Yeah. Then Amon-Ra's a great pickup. He's going to be the most consistent player this year in fantasy, most likely, barring injury. So,
right.
Yeah, I mean, there's the DNA to be a good team, but I don't know if we got all the pieces.
And the next team we're going up to, the team that was voted 6th in this division, is Ben Ackerman. We're staying in the West, going all the way up.
Let me find his team in and out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this I would definitely maybe put below Reed's team. Like when we go from Montgomery and Achane, you're thinking, oh, there's not a RB room worse than that. And then you look at Ramondre Stevenson and Tony Pollard, and you're like, ah.
Yeah. So I think those are both downgrades from the other team here. Burrow, I like. The receiver room is strong. The front receiver. Travis Kelce, at least top 5 option at tight end. The bench, I don't hate, don't love, but I just think we're so weak at running back. If we're going to be, and we know, but when we look at Ethan's team, it'll be the same issue. When we have a weak running back room, our wide receiver 3 needs to be stronger than JSN at flex.
I completely agree. And it does, and the depth pieces aren't really there for him either, which I think really hinders him. He's got a bad for the league, a bad starting lineup, and then also a bad bench, where a lot of teams have good starting lineups and bad benches, or mid starting lineups and good benches. So he doesn't make up for it in depth. I like Romeo Doubs just because I'm a Packers fan, but he's not going to be consistent every week. Rostering Ezekiel Elliott and Deuce Vaughn is quite preposterous. We need to get crafty with some waiver wire pickups there.
Dalvin Cook now, I feel like Zeke on the depth is just not as strong as it probably was on the day of the draft.
Yeah, and I'd love Ramondre to come out and be like an alpha back and Ben Ackerman making the playoffs, best case scenario, in my opinion. Ben Ackerman winning the league, best case scenario, in my opinion. I just don't know if the starting lineups is what's going to happen. But significantly better starting lineup than last year.
Yeah, way better than last year's draft.
Way better.
So the next team we're looking at is the fifth team now in the West. This is where we're getting on the edge of the playoffs. These are teams that we think are going to teeter the playoffs. This is Ryan Wolf's team. And for me personally, I actually was the guy on the board of commissioner when we did the vote. I actually voted Ryan into the playoffs in the last slot. I like this team probably more than where it's ranked. I think this is actually a better team than Ethan Wright's team, which we'll see next. This team, Kyler Murray, great pick in the 7th. Jake Ferguson, great pick in the 6th. His receiver room is strong. Tyreek Hill, dog. Devontae is your wide receiver 2. We can't complain. And really, with this strong wide receiver room, even Pickens flex, I'm not mad at that. And my thing is with running backs here, usually when we have a strong wide receiver room, we see that dip in the running back room. It's one or the other. He actually is able to make a somewhat decent running back room. Kamara's got a good floor, so does Najee. Not super high upside guys, but these guys are going to get it done week in, week out. Sutton on the bench, Goddard. I think this is a really solid filled-out roster. What do you think, Ben?
Yeah, no, I definitely we're definitely both high on Ryan's team. I think the thing with Ryan is, and we saw it last year, is he going to shoot himself in the foot and trade CMC for Dameon Pierce? That's the real question. Is he going to go out and convince himself Tyreek Hill or Devontae Adams is getting hurt and trade him for a box of rocks? That's what we're talking about when we talk about Ryan. But overall, the kid drafts well, just like he drafted well last year. Even with the CMC trade and the Dameon Pierce is a league winner mentality, still didn't get. Was he in the playoffs or was he just right outside?
Yeah, he didn't make it.
He didn't make it, but he was right outside. He still made up for basically shooting himself in the foot. So yeah, I mean he's a good fantasy guy. Let's just see if he can get it done. I just rostering Daniel Jones has a little insane to me. Go pick up Bo Nix. Go pick up, just throw J.J. McCarthy on IR. That's a better. Hurt J.J. McCarthy's better than Daniel Jones, if I'm being honest.
So the next team we're looking at, this is a very controversial team that has some strong points, but definitely some weak points as well. This is Ethan Wright's team. He was voted on the board of commissioners 4th, so the first guy to make it in the playoffs, kind of that sneak-in guy. I voted him to be 5th or 6th. I think it was 6th or 5th. Stay out of the playoffs. I don't hate this team, but obviously, quarterback loaded, tight end loaded. His first 2 receivers, love. Very strong spots there. But when we go here, the same case when we're looking at Ackerman's team applies to Ethan's team. When we have 2 not good RBs, he has worse running backs, actually, than Ackerman.
Yeah.
So when we're looking at this, with our running back room being this weak, Chris Godwin can't be our wide receiver 3. We should have a higher-end wide receiver 3 on our team if we're going to have this weak for running back room. I don't hate Mostert. I actually think Mostert's going to score 10 touchdowns this year. He did it he just scored 20 last year. He's going to be decently productive, but fighting Chase Brown and Jalen Warren, those are flex options. Those are week to week. Maybe they get in, maybe they don't. Flex options at your RB2. I don't love it. I don't love Chris Godwin in the flex as much as some other receivers. And the bench, Jalen Warren, Chase Brown, one of them being on the bench is fine. The rest is, I don't see a lot of production on anybody else besides Caleb Williams on the bench.
Yeah, I do. This is, he's a big take Josh Allen in round 3 guy. He did it last year. He's doing it this year. Chris Godwin at our flex when we got Chase Brown or Raheem Mostert as our RBs. I agree with you there. That's rough. Taking Mark Andrews did he take Mark Andrews in round 3 or round 4?
He took him in 4 because he took him early 4, but he took him over Laporta.
He took him over Laporta. He took him 1 pick before Laporta. I mean, that's a proven guy that's going to be out for 5 to 6 weeks. So, I don't know. Just some red flags, but hey, is Ethan Wright? He can get it done down the stretch. I trust him. Who knows? Chase Brown can come out of this backfield and be the guy.
Yep. That's what
like I said, we're both high on Raheem Mostert where he got him. I think those were good picks. I would just think that's just an RB2 in both of our opinions, not an RB1.
So going on to the next team, this is a team I did vote in the playoffs. He's currently 3rd in the rankings. This is Ben Hansen's team, the guy I'm on the pod with currently. I voted him 3rd to make the playoffs safely. I think he's going to win 7 to 8 games, at least 7 and 7 prediction, given nobody gets hurt and he doesn't make a silly trade. I like Ben's team. The first thing I think what jumps off the page looking at Ben's team, running backs, first and second round pick. He went hero RB strategy. I think it's going to work out good for him. Gibbs is dynamic. Travis Etienne's going to touch the ball 20 times a game. His value on McLaurin in the 7th round smash pick for a stack like that. Diggs and Cooper are some older guys. I don't think you're too worried about their floor as much as you know what you're going to get out of those guys. Kyle Pitts, I like the offense. He's the guy I would have taken there. And the bench is what actually I liked out of Ben. Curtis Samuel, he could be the guy. We don't know who's the guy yet in Buffalo. Algiers, great. If Bijan gets hurt, we know Algiers got good upside. Michael Wilson's going to be in a much better offense this year. Antonio Gibson's behind Ramondre. That's a split backfield. So I don't hate this team at all. I think this is better than his last year's draft, and I think this is a playoff team. The starting lineup's strong enough for me. It's got enough name value.
Yeah, I mean, just when I went into this draft, just trusting I knew I was going double RBs, so I had to make a decision to either go with 2 wide receiver 2s on a team or make the pick and go with some proven names. My thought process at the draft at the time was there's no reason for them to go out and grab Stephon Diggs in a trade and not use him a lot, and I still stand behind that. Looking back, should I have taken Debo? Probably. But, I just got to ride. I got to ride with my boy Stephon Diggs, and we'll see where it goes. I was really happy to get Terry McLaurin in like the 7th round.
Yeah. Fair.
And then Michael Wilson was one guy I was really looking forward to getting. I think he's a dog, and I'm really excited to see what he does in Arizona.
Yeah, so I really like this with you. You went 2 RBs, and you were still able to recover with 3 wide receiver 2 type of guys.
Mm-hmm.
So if you find yourself in a weak hole starting someone we don't love in the flex, starting a low-end wide receiver 3 type wide receiver 4 guy, you actually still were able to get your hands on at least a lower-end or mid-end wide receiver 2, and that's really a good deal on him. So Ben's team's the team I like. The next team we're going to, this is the team I voted first. The other guys voted for Jacob, but this is the team I voted first in this division. This is Nate's team. This is a team me and Ben both really like. Ben, I'll let you go first.
Yeah, I mean, I think he needs to change the name because he's not rostering Spencer Rattler, but yeah, I mean, look, this is the team I have ranked number 1, and actually I have Jacob ranked like squeaking into the playoffs, but we'll get to that later. I mean, Dak, Jonathan Taylor, just 2 smash picks, and then we got Brandon Ayuk, Deebo Samuel, which I think best case scenario for him was Ayuk getting traded to like the Steelers. Obviously didn't happen. They're gonna be in San Francisco, but they're gonna put up stupid numbers. They always do every year. Ayuk got paid, so he's either gonna be trash or he's gonna be amazing. So that's yet to see. Then at flex, Calvin Ridley. I like that pickup after DeAndre got hurt. And the bench is a solid bench. Like there's really nothing else. He's just got a really solid. He's the number 1 in my opinion.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the roster, the 2 things that are going to stick out as far as the negative aspect, I think is Zamir White and Taysom Hill. But if we're comparing that to other negatives around the league, I don't think it looks that bad. And then you go down to his bench, Brian Robinson as a player. Some guys would like him to start on their team. Ladd's a good pickup. Ajay Spears, Rico, Brock Purdy. This is probably the best bench, if not one of the best benches in the league. And I don't hate the starting lineup either. So I have him with some good depth. Even he can even survive an injury, and that's what we're looking for. Have at least one injury they run into. So this was my number 1 guy. Going on to the guy that was ranked number 1 in the voting due to slight glaze from Garrett and Jackson, but I'll let it slide. We're going on to Jacob's team. This is a team I had making the playoffs, but I'm with Ben here. I think this is more of a sneak into the playoffs and turn it up later based on his roster as we'll dive in here.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, the fact that Jacob got voted, like, there's no hate on Jacob, but the fact that this team got voted 1, everything considered, is a little insane to me. I know he likes to tout the Keon Coleman pickup, but like I'm not super high on that. But like, let's just break down the roster. Jared Goff, solid 15 to 20 points kind of guy. Rashad White, great volume, but like, is he gonna be a guy? Bucky Irvin sitting right there, could end up towards the later half of the season, seeing some split reps. James Conner's gonna get hurt. He's gonna miss 3 to 4 weeks. But he has good volume. Those are really comparable guys to me. Looking back, though, Rashad White got taken in the 2nd round, like middle of the 2nd round. There's a lot of better options to be took there. I think if he takes one of those options, his team looks a lot better, in my opinion. Jamar Chase, I mean, he's Jamar Chase. Chris Olave, great player, but like, it's either going to be Spencer Rattler or Derek Carr throwing the ball. Derek Carr's washed, and Spencer Rattler is Spencer Rattler. So that pick could end up kind of biting him in the butt. And then Muth, dog, he got him late. And Jordan Addison, will he get DUI powers, or will he just kind of do what he did last year and just have kind of blow up weeks and bad weeks?
Yeah. So for me, looking at this roster, I don't hate this roster right now. One of the concerns when you look at the starting lineup, actually for me, is Jamar Chase right now. We're 6 days away from kickoff. Jamar Chase is still showing up for practice in street clothes, showing up late, has no contract, is saying he will sit out. So I know Jacob's probably holding on to the fact, hoping that Jamar Chase plays week 1. If not, that's great for me. T. Higgins owner, let him eat. But Jamar Chase needs to sign. If he does, Jacob's team looks a lot better. If he misses a couple weeks, we're in trouble. Here's what I do like about Jacob's team. I do not think this is a winning record team halfway through the year. I think this is a team that's like 3-4 at week 7 because his team is set up, and we know how Jacob sets up. He trades for people who are. Jacob's always looking for week 15, 16, 17. He's looking for the money weeks. We know that because he has Marquise Brown. He's not going to be back for a couple weeks. T.J. Hockenson won't be back till later in the season. And down at Ivan Brooks, young guy, rookie coming off torn ACL, Jacob is setting himself up for success on the back half of the season. So the front half of the season, I don't even think Jacob's in the playoffs yet. I think he can sneak in, and if he does, I think that's where he has a chance to turn it on and make this team turn into something special. Yeah,
it's all about just like setting himself up to squeak in the playoffs. Because it doesn't matter how good you do if you're freaking 1-8. You're not making it. So
yeah,
we'll see. I think, but I would put him sneaking in the playoffs. I think him being 1 is a little crazy, a little bit of glaze there.
Yeah. So going into, now we're in the Eastern Conference, the team who's ranked last, and I do not agree with this, is Rylan Hewitt's team. This is not a team I think deserves to be last place. I have them bordering the playoffs because the more I dive into this roster I like, so I believe even when I was voting I was still underrating Rylan a little bit. Jordan Love, solid quarterback. He's actually the GOAT. Breece Hall, great pick. I'm glad Rylan kind of shook it up and took him there. Receiver room, DJ, and Christian Kirk. I think that's a really solid receiver room. Dalton Kincaid's a good pick. The only thing that sticks out to me in this lineup, Zach Moss sticks out. I don't even know if he's going to end up being the guy in his backfield, but he's got Jaleel. He's got decent depth. Myers, Lockett. He's okay on the bench, so not the best bench, but not the best starting lineup, but he finds himself somewhere in the middle, and I don't think that deserves to be a last place vote. So I actually don't hate Rylan.
No, honestly, all it takes for him to make the playoffs is Zach Moss puts up like 10 points a week, 9 points a week. And everybody else kind of performs like we expect them to, he's in the playoffs for sure. I think Rylan kind of went out his way, was his own man this season, didn't really listen to anybody else telling him what to draft. He drafted the team that he thought was going to win. And you know what? This is a good roster. Obviously, the bench is weak, but everybody's bench is pretty much weak. He's got Jacoby Myers on there. He's got Tyler Lockett. The Max Crosby pick in round 9 was insane.
Yeah.
And then he's not even starting him. He's starting Roquan Smith.
Yeah, I would definitely be starting Max Crosby from the upside.
Yeah.
At the following team here, this is ranked 6. This is Granda. I do like Rylan's team better than Granda's team, but I don't want to talk too negatively on Granda's team. I do play him week 1, so if I lose, I'll look like an idiot. But here we are looking at this team. Anthony Richardson, good quarterback. I like it. High upside, good pick. Running back room, one of the better, strong running back rooms in the whole league. Saquon and Pacheco, that's a first and second round running back. He went hero RB as well from the jump. Drake London, good receiver. Sam Laporta, great pick in the 4th. I like that core. My issue with this roster is we have Christian Watson at wide receiver 2 and Xavier Worley starting. I just can't get behind starting both of those guys. Those are both week in, week out, boom or bust type of guys. Mm-hmm. You're going to get out of one of those guys in 1 week. And then the bench, I think, is one of the weaker benches in the league. He's got Trevor Lawrence as his QB2. I like QB2, whatever. Mm-hmm. Bolts, I don't mind, and the rest of that bench I worry about. Darnell Mooney has a chance, but the bench, Jalen Polk's the only guy I actually have a little bit of hope for on that bench. So
yeah.
I don't love the starting lineup, and I don't love the bench, so this is a team I don't love and do not have in the playoffs. Sorry, Granda, you're like one of my favorite humans, but don't beat me this week because I'll look stupid.
Yeah, look, these two teams, this one's kind of just like there's not much to say. It's just kind of a mid-roster. We'll see if Pacheco and Saquon and Drake London and Anthony Richardson can carry, because there's not much depth outside of that. But there is a guy that his name has not been mentioned yet that I'm assumed is ranked above these two, who me and you agree, probably the worst team in the league. So, for them two to be in the two last place of this division, I think is a little crazy. I don't know what crack the commission was smoking, but it must have been some good crack.
So looking on it now, I think Ryland should have been at probably 5, teetering at the edge of the playoffs, 4 or 5. Veronica probably could have stayed right there at 6. This is the team have is probably at least the worst team in this division. I'll let you go in first because this is a team you're really low on. This is Zach Layton's team.
Yeah.
Odd draft. I'll let Ben go in here first.
Yeah, I just wanted to say that we both agree that this team is bad. It's not just a me thing.
Yeah.
I love the Gregory Cornegie picture. Wish he was in frame. But there's nobody on this team where I'm like, that's the guy, that's the dude, right? Kyron, he's looking shaky. Geno Smith is our starting quarterback. I don't love it. Derrick Henry, significant. Like, he's still Derrick Henry, don't get me wrong. That might be the most that guy on this team. But then we look at the receivers and we're with Devontae Smith, who's a dog. Don't get me wrong. He's just the wide receiver 2 on his team. That's what you get every year. So he is a high-end wide receiver 2, but he's your wide receiver 1. And then Malik Neighbors, who I think got taken in round 5 or round 4?
4. First pick of the round 4.
First pick of round 4, which I don't think anybody is questioning is an insane reach. And then Nwankwo is rough at the tight end spot. Even more rough than Nathan, who didn't take a tight end until like round in the double-digit rounds. And then Jaden Reed is our flex. I love Jaden Reed. Don't get me wrong, but like that, the team is just so split. I like Javonte Williams on the bench. I like Blake Corum if Kyron goes down. That dude's a dog. DeAndre Hopkins, maybe if he comes back. Xavier Legette, did we draft the guy based on funny interviews? Like, come on. And everybody else finishing out there is kind of rough. But yeah. I think Zach had a plan going in, and it just didn't work out, and so he scrambled.
Yeah, for me, this is one of my favorite benches in the league, I will say. I like this bench. This is a bench I do like. I think this is a solid bench. This is one of the better benches in the league, for sure. His depth, I don't question. The starting lineup for me, there's no 1-2 punch. There's not a guy that sticks out as that guy on this team. I look through this team, and I see a bunch of guys all have question marks for me. Devontae Smith is actually probably the safest player on this team, but he's not. You don't want a wide receiver 1 as the wide receiver 2 on his own team. Jaden Reed in the 5th round is disgusting as our flex when we have guys like Terry McLaurin, Deontay Johnson, all these guys going 2 rounds later. That's a disgusting pick. Chris Godwin, all those guys going later. And so Jaden Reed at flex, I don't like. Tight ends weak, quarterbacks weak. Running backs are strong, but they're questionable for me. I think one of those 2 guys misses time this year. And then Malik Neighbors, I like the talent, I like the prospect, don't like the team, and he's a rookie. So I think we just have to kind of take it as we see it. Not whoever take it in the 4th on a team that's already shaky. This is more of a team where you have safe guys throughout and we can take a chance. The bench I do like, so this just isn't a strong starting lineup for me, and I do have Zach.
I would definitely put Javonte Williams in. If Javonte Williams was in at the flex, I think we'd look at this team a lot better, but he's not, and so we don't.
So going on to the next team, this is the first team that was voted into the playoffs. He was in the playoffs last year. He made it to the 3rd. I believe he finished 3rd in the league, or 2nd. He finished 2nd in the league. My fault. This is Garrett.
CD's balls, yes.
CD's balls. I'll let you go in first on Garrett here and tell me what you think. He's voted into the playoffs.
Yeah, this is one of my more favorite rosters in the league. I think only two big question marks for me are Aaron Jones and Brock Bowers, just because Brock Bowers could be splitting reps with Mayer. It was kind of a question. Like, I think Brock Bowers lands anywhere else but Vegas, really. That is like tight end needy. He's kind of a smash home run pick. But I mean, literally everybody else: Lamar Jackson, Kenneth Walker, CeeDee Lamb, Mike Evans, Keenan Allen. Bench is somewhat solid. So, and Garrett's a good fantasy player. He's gonna go and draft good every time. He's gonna go and get some sneaky trades. Kind of ride with his team. I like Garrett's team a lot.
Yeah, I'm a fan of Garrett's team as well. He's a consistent fantasy player. He's probably the safe fantasy player we have in the league. Aaron Jones is my question mark with you. Brock Bowers, even Keenan Allen, I have questions some, but I do like this. This is a strong starting roster. There's a couple names that pop off the board to me. Kenneth Walker, great pick where he picked him. CeeDee Lamb pops off the board, one of the best players in fantasy. Lamar Jackson, high upside quarterback. And then the bench, I don't hate either. So I think we got a solid bench. and a solid starting lineup, this lands you in the playoffs for me. I put him in the playoffs, and I don't disagree with that at this time. Going to the next team, this is the guy that was ranked third. He also made the playoffs last year, snuck in as a 4th seed. I have him going as a 3 seed this year. So now we're looking at Jackson's team. He's who I have finishing third in this division. I made the playoffs, snuck in last year with some overcoming some adversity last year. So I think, barring injury, this is a pretty solid roster. I think I like the whole roster going through as far as starters go. The only thing that sticks out to me is Devin Singletary. He does stick out to me as the lower end guy here, but we do have Jerome Ford, who is at least replacement level for a back for the first half of the season. And I like some of the bench players. Justin Herbert as your QB2 is good. Ryan Thomas is my favorite pick of the draft as far as a rookie goes. So I like this roster. I think it's a solid bench with a good starting lineup. My only question mark is Singletary, and I think besides that one hole in the roster, I really like this team.
Yeah, he got Trey McBride really late. I think that was a great pickup.
Yes, very.
That dude's really good. I like Deontay Johnson. Yeah, I like the reps that James Cook's going to get. Yeah, just really good team. It's just, I think Justin Jefferson, just big question mark if Sam Darnold can get him the ball. If Sam Darnold can get him the ball, he's going to be fine.
Yeah, and I think Jefferson's pretty much quarterback proof at this point. He's just so good at Nick Mullins last year. So going into the team we have finished in second, this is Chase's team. This is a team he also made the playoffs as a 1 or 2 seed last year. I think I've got him repeating with it. Christian McCaffrey, best player in fantasy football and healthy. Joe Mixon's a good back. I like this. This running back room is really nice. And considering his running back room is this good, he still has a solid wide receiver room. I think Michael Pittman was a reach. Me and Ben both agree on that in the second round. Look crazy to me, but Pittman, Flower together for a good receiving core. A little mid at quarterback, but we can handle mid at quarterback. I'd rather be mid there than some other places. And then tight ends, you got David Njoku at good value, and he's got Swift, J-Mo, Chandler, his bench, Bucky Irvin. I like the upside on his bench. I'll let you take a look at this and tell me what you think, man.
Yeah, no, I agree with everything you said. A little bit of a pick. I like J-Mo on the bench. I like DeAndre Swift on the bench. I like Bucky Irving. Just solid 2 seed. Nothing much to say. Only big question mark is I don't even think there's a really big question mark on this team. It's just if Zay Flowers or Rashee Rice can really perform to the level that they're touted this year. He's rostering Harrison Butker kind of wild.
Ben might be sexist, guys.
I'm not sexist. Harrison Butker's sexist.
Well, I'm saying that Chase has got him, so Chase might be sexist.
Chase might be sexist.
Keep your sisters and daughters away from Chase, y'all.
He will make them do a shift in the kitchen. Anyways, Tommy's Mini Mart Muggers would love to know what that means. Might be a joke going over my head.
Yeah, I'm not getting it either, but I do like the name.
Okay, so who's next?
The last team is me. I was voted first between myself and the board. I like my team. I'll let you dive into it.
Yeah, I like your team too. I don't know if you're first right now. Obviously, you're a big trade guy, so this team is subject to change. I love the starting lineup. I love the Bijan and Josh Jacobs. I love Cooper Kupp and T. Higgins. Tank Dell, a lot of big question marks there for me, but that's because I'm preying on the Stephon Diggs come up. The bench, it's like good team, bad bench, which is what we see a lot in this league.
Yeah.
Rome, Trey Benson, Tank Bigsby. Trey Benson, Tank Bigsby, big upside if their starters get hurt, but if they don't, they're just gonna be like 2 points every week for you. Noah Fant, underrated dog. I'm calling that right now. Quay Walker, dog, and then obviously the big star of this bench is Nick Chubb. Took him real late. If he comes back and is Nick Chubb of old, smash home run pick. This team is disgusting, and you're easily making the playoffs and easily could win. But if he comes back and he's Todd Gurley 2.0, then there's a lot of I think this is just like a squeak-in type of team. So it's all on upside. It's a big upside team, but the floor maybe not so much.
Yeah, and I don't want to sit here. It's hard for me to talk good about my team. I don't want to sound cocky. I love my team. I think I have one of the best starting lineups in the league. But I will say, if Nick Chubb does not come back and perform, I only have 2 running backs. Besides that, if I have a running back on bye or injury, I'm really weak in that area. Mm-hmm. Same far as like Tank Dell, I have some low floor guys as well. Tank Dell, a high ceiling guy, but he's also low floor. Same with Chubb, same with E. Higgins. I have some big boom or bust type of guys as well on a week to week basis. So I think there's weeks where this team puts up 140 points, looks like the best team in the league, and I think there's weeks where this team scores 80 points and gets blown out. So
yeah. No, I 100% agree. I definitely think there'll be more boom weeks than bust weeks, so that's why I would definitely have you in the playoffs. But yeah, I mean, wise words of Rob Hansen. You know, you can't win the league on draft day, but you sure as hell can lose it. I think we saw that with some of those lower tier teams. And then everybody else that's kind of like higher ranked up, like it's just all based on trades, injuries, and all that to see who really comes out on top. So.
And for me, this is something I wanted to do at the end of this episode, Ben. This is something I didn't tell you about. I should have told you, but we're gonna hit it raw. I just thought of it. Let's go through the scoreboard and predict winners and losers from all the games for week 1.
Cool. How would I pull that up?
It's go to scoreboard up on the top instead of like opposing teams or whatever. It should say scoreboard.
Okay, cool. Chase can
so
get that out.
And we'll start with you start with me. Who's the first on your team? Who on your thing?
On my thing is me versus Ben Ackerman.
Okay, well let's start there. And you just off yours. So for you versus Ackerman, let me go to that matchup. Ben Ackerman is actually predicted to score more, but ESPN predictions do not matter.
Yeah.
Out there. In the obvious, they do not matter. For me, I think your running back room just tramps his running back room. His wide receiver room definitely outperforms yours, but you haven't beaten the flex. Tight end breaks about even. This is actually a better matchup than I thought. I do have you squeaking out a win. I think this is actually a really, really close matchup. I do have you squeaking out the win. I don't know. I just feel like the Gibbs ETN pairing is going to match up a lot better than the Pollard Stevenson matchup. I see Ramondre scoring like 6 points this week. They're going to get blown out by Cincy, so.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, I would hope I would win. They do have Gibbs and ETN projected at like 12 and 14 points. I think that happens. I'm really big week out of Jaden Daniels. I hope outperforms Joe Burrow, and I think I get this win. Next up, I have CD's Balls versus Shooting Browns.
Yeah, let's take a look at this. I think this is going to be a good matchup. Now that we got CD Lamb playing, confirmed week 1, I like both of these guys. I still like the matchups for Ethan's team as far as like who the guys are playing on their teams, their matchups. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to actually take Ethan's team. I don't love Ethan's teams better than Garrett's team on a year-long basis, but for this week, I actually like Ethan's team better.
Yeah, I think you're tripping. I'm definitely taking Garrett. Even though I love Ethan Wright, me and Ethan Wright are on a collision course towards friendship. We've reunited. We've got something brewing behind the scenes. Maybe when he comes on the podcast, when Ethan Wright comes on the podcast, tune in. Me and him have a big announcement to make.
Gotcha. The only thing that scares me about this pick is Chase Brown or Jalen Warren. God, that could definitely take my pick and run it into the ground. So Ethan, please make a trade.
And look, Aaron Jones is playing the Giants, who don't typically have the best defense. So, yeah, I like Garrett. I like Garrett's team. Him projected to score 99 points is insane.
It's because they have CD out right now. They still have CD.
Okay.
They haven't put him in, but he'll play. So who's the next team you got here on?
Punani Predators versus Tommy's Mini Mart. A collision of the household, to say the least.
Father and son go at it.
Unk and smaller Unk go at it.
For me, I'm going to go Chase here in a very close one. I don't like Breece Hall's matchup in San Francisco. I think that's Ryland's big star player, and he has a tough matchup. I'm going to go and lean Chase here this week.
Look, I can't make a logical reason to why I'm going for this. I can only just say I got a feeling, and I'm going to go out on a limb and say I'm taking Ryland. I'm taking the Punani Predators. I'm taking Ray Rice up there in the corner. I think they get it done. I think DK and DJ Moore have big weeks and respective of those bad defenses. I think Dalton Kincaid comes out there and shows that this is no sophomore slump, and I think Christian Kirk's just going to be Christian Kirk. Anyways, the Breece Hall San Francisco could definitely screw my pickup, but Jordan Love's going to go out there and grab 35 points against that fraud Philly defense.
Gotcha. Well, who's next for you on the scoreboard? I like that. I like how we're kind of
Reed Frink and Tomato Shaken Djibouti.
I don't understand Jacob's name.
Well, they got a tomato shake, you know?
Yeah, I guess. For me, looking at this matchup. I don't know. For me, I'm really questioning if Jamar Chase plays week 1. If Jamar Chase does not play week 1, I think Reed beats him by 15 points.
Oh, 100%.
So I'm going to go out on a limb, and I'm going to actually take Reed. I like Jacobs' roster long-term over Reed, but I'm actually going to go out here on a limb and say Jamar Chase may not play week 1, and for me, I'm going to take Reed in this game.
Yeah, I think everybody knows that I'm really low on Keon Coleman, and there's a really big chance with Jamar Chase and Jordan Addison being in the starting lineups that neither of those two guys start. I don't know where Jordan Addison's at with the DUI situation. It was like something like 3 games. I don't know if that's been issued yet.
Yep.
Or if it's going to get issued this season, but if it does, then he has to start Keon Coleman, and I think Keon Coleman puts up a big 2 points in his first game. Big prediction for me.
Gotcha. So our next game, what do you have on your thing?
Rogers Redemption Ride versus Trappin at Mahome.
All right, let me go to the box score here. For me, season long, obviously, I'm leaning in Jackson's team here, but going into this week, I don't know. I think I actually like his matchups as well, better on Jackson's side. So, Devin Singletary, as much as I don't like him, he is playing the Vikings. I do think he's actually viable in this game. So, for me, I'm going to go Jackson's team here. I think he starts off 1-0.
I mean, I think the big thing is you're banking on your 2 hero RBs having good games, and your 2 hero RBs are playing Detroit and Kansas City, who got good D-lines this year. So, those could be 2 rough games for them. And Malik Neighbors and then Devontae Smith, they could do something. But yeah, I'm definitely taking Jackson Evans.
And then what's the next one you got? Is it Ryan?
Yes, Ryan Skibbity Sigma Squad versus Glorious King Rattler.
Nice. So for me, looking at this game, I actually like both of these teams, and I'm gonna go out on a limb. I love Nathan's team this year. I like it more than Ryan's team. But on this specific week, we all know the first couple weeks of the season, Tyreek Hill is like a guaranteed 30-burger. I really like Alvin Kamara against the freaking Panthers. Kyler's going to throw the ball all game long against Buffalo. And then Nate's team, he's got 2 guys playing the Jets secondary. Probably the best secondary in football. One of Dak's playing at Cleveland. Don't love it. So give me in the upside. Give me Ryan here in week 1.
Yeah, I'll take. I'll take Ryan too. Okay. I had to look at the matchups real quick. I'm taking Ryan too. Now I got McLovin Loves Lovers and the commission as the final game.
I'll let you go first on this one then.
Cool. I mean, just right off the bat, we've already talked about it. I'm taking Caden's team. I just don't. I mean, the matchups aren't. I just don't really like Jaden's team. I just think you have a more solid team, and I think you're just gonna get it done. I like the matchups too. So.
Yeah, for me, I think the only time I'm confident in my team, I am going to pick myself to win. I think if he does get if Xavier Worthy for some reason has a great game against Baltimore, or Christian Watson has one of those boom games they're possible to have, that's where my team faces an issue. But as far as I go through here, I mean, he's got Worthy and Pacheco against the Baltimore defense. That's such a tough matchup. Drake London's in Pittsburgh. I mean, it's a tough matchup for him on a lot of fronts. So I will pick my team here. Jaden, if you beat me, I'm going to look stupid.
Yeah.
Love you.
Well, that wraps up our game predictions. Anything else to say?
For me, that's pretty much it. So I just want to go saying going forward, Chase Koshard is our editor. He's going to mash some of these clips together, make sure everything looks good. Some of this will be put into Instagram Reels eventually. Ben's going to post this on YouTube. We're going to be posting some stuff on our Instagram. So make sure you're following Burke Fantasy League. No caps, no spaces. Make sure you're following that. And then be tuned in for this episode dropping soon. And then the next episode after week 1, after all the games finish, we will be bringing on a guest every single week. So be on your phone and ready for a text. You might be a guest next week if you are.
Yeah. We're probably going to drop this one tonight or whenever you see this. But most episodes will be posted on Wednesday, Tuesday, Wednesday-ish to kind of be able to have time for that Monday night game. So
yeah, Monday night games, we'll wrap it up. We'll probably do our interview and our pod on Tuesday, and then it should drop on Wednesday, the day before the following week starts on that Thursday night. So we're super excited about this. Please stay tuned. We're going to be adding a lot more content to this, and we're really excited about this. So let us know what you guys think, and thanks for watching.
Yes, sir, boys. Signing off.
See you, brother.